Hey, it's Morgan from The Wolf, where we cover the intersection of sports and culture. I wanted to try something a little bit different. So in the immediate future, I'll be compiling dream teams from each of Europe's top 5 soccer leagues based on the performance of this past season. I'll be using the 4-3-3 formation throughout to ensure uniformity. And first up is the Premier League. The Premier League is known for hard-nosed, no-nonsense football. It is famously hard to succeed in the Premier League year in and year out. So these 11 that I've compiled have shown that they can rise above the pressure and succeed. And without further ado, here's my Premier League dream team for the 2019-2020 season. Goalkeeper, Nick Pope. I understand that picking Nick Pope here is not the flashy decision, as picking someone who plays for the Premier League's Big Six would be a much easier decision. However, that makes Nick Pope's achievements this season stand out even more. Because the defenders in front of him were not as high-priced and effective as some of the more expensive ones, Nick Pope had to bear more of the responsibility of keeping the ball out of his net this year. That makes his 70% save percentage even more eye-popping and impressive. Left back, Andrew Robertson. Liverpool's resident Scotsman registered 12 assists this year, an impressive number to say the least. His defensive prowess, coupled with his ability to range forward with the ball, makes him a lethal player. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that just 6 years ago he wasn't even playing football, which makes his achievements all the more impressive. Centre back, Virgil van Dijk. Take one look at the 6'5" Dutchman and you know that he is a dominant presence in Liverpool's back four. He registered 15 clean sheets this season, and he strikes fear into every opponent's heart as soon as they see him. Centre back, Çağlar Söyüncü. Not only does Söyüncü have one of the most complicated names in Premier League history, but his playing ability is equally as complex. He had an astounding 90% pass completion rate, coupled with the fact that he completed 2/3 of his tackles. That type of production is what made Leicester City so good this year. Right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. The Englishman has been making a lot of noise over the past couple of seasons, but this year he stepped it up a notch. He recorded 13 assists this year, which is a Premier League record for a defender. Also, he's extremely quick, which makes him a constant problem for any opposing attackers. Finally, he does what few defenders have ever been able to do, and that is consistently convert free kicks. Central defensive midfielder, Jordan Henderson. Now, I'm not including Liverpool's captain here because of his eye-popping production. Rather, I'm including him because of his amazing leadership qualities. Having someone who commands respect like he does on my team would be a dream. And besides, he does the two things that a central defensive midfielder is supposed to do: defend and distribute. Center midfield, Bruno Fernandes. Now, including Fernandes on this list is controversial to say the least. Many soccer pundits across Europe have complained about the fact that you can't include him in a team of the year if he only spent half the year in the Premier League. Needless to say, I disagree. Fernandes marked his arrival in Manchester by scoring 8 goals and 7 assists in just 14 matches. I shouldn't have to tell you that averaging over 1 goal contribution per match is phenomenal. He has stepped into that team's midfield and immediately made it one of the most feared in the Premier League in just a few short months. Center midfield, Kevin De Bruyne. Ask any soccer fan worth their salt who is the best center midfielder in the world right now. I bet you a lot of them would say Kevin De Bruyne. He tied the Premier League record with 20 assists this season. He is perhaps the best ball distributor in a generation, and simply put, he sees passes that other people don't even think about. Left wing, Anthony Martial. 3 seasons ago, Manchester United signed Martial from AS Monaco, and there was a clause in the contract that stated that if Martial was to win the Ballon d'Or within 4 seasons, that AS Monaco would receive a substantial fee. 3 years on, it looks like Martial is just one step away from achieving that goal. He scored 23 goals in all competitions this year, and he changes the game with his mere presence on the pitch. He's lethal in front of goal, and I'd be crazy not to put him on my Premier League dream team. Right wing, Marcus Rashford. As Martial's teammate, he's also done pretty well, having scored 22 goals in all competitions this year. At just 22 years old, I can confidently say that Marcus Rashford has all the makings of a future superstar, and I've already talked about his amazing off-the-field contributions on this channel. Striker, Jamie Vardy. Vardy won the Premier League Golden Boot with 23 goals in league competition this year. His success year in and year out is amazing to see, since his rise from non-league football all the way to Premier League champion in 2016. I'm glad to see that after his meteoric rise, his success hasn't turned out to just be some flash in the pan, but rather something to look forward to year in and year out. He's an undisputed ball hawk and the leader of Leicester City. That'll do it for my Premier League dream team, and I'm confident that I could put this roster up against any team across Europe. I have a comment section below. Let me know what you think. The Wolf is always on the prowl for more sports news, and you'll be able to see it soon.